Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 5th of May 2022. In today's Millwall news, we've got this story from newsatden.co.uk. Millwall striker, permanent move, definitely an option. We have to see if things can be matched. Afobe says a permanent move to Millwall this summer is definitely an option. Afobe, 29, has spent a season on loan with the Lions from Stoke City and is top scorer with 13 goals, and 9 of them in 2022. Afobe has one more year left on his Potter's contract, so Millwall would have to pay a fee if they pursue a move. Asked by News at Den if he would try to push for a move to the Den, Afobe replied, "I have to think about it, to be honest. Do I want to stay here? Will I stay at Stoke? Will I go somewhere else? I never really want to focus on these things when I'm playing because it can be a distraction. Even if you think it's not a distraction, it can be. For me, it's just about staying fit and enjoying my time here. I'm a bit gutted the season is finishing because I feel I'm just hitting my best form of the season. It's something we're going to have to sit down and speak about. Obviously, we have to wait until the end of the season and see if we're in the playoffs. It's definitely something that I would consider. A lot of people know what I think of Millwall, and it's definitely an option for sure. It's not no chance, it's definitely an option, but we have to wait and see if things can be matched in any potential deal." So there you go. What do you think of that? Yes, good stuff. He's a quality striker. He's got pedigree. He's got, what is the saying? Class is permanent, form is temporary. I mean, he's class. He is class, and like he said, he's getting better as it's going on here, as he's playing more and more here. So if he comes back for another season or two, what's he going to be like once he's settled in properly? Hopefully. Now, if he didn't get injured, he's on 13 goals now. If he didn't get injured, I mean, he could be up to like 16, 17. Oh, I don't think he'll be up to 20, but it's not like he doesn't waste a lot of chances. He's very clinical. He'll have 2 shots on target, 2 shots in a game, 1 on target, and get 1 goal. So, yeah, it would be. I think it would be very good if he could be brought in. And like I said, I think the reason why we're seeing some players, kind of not being given a contract yet is maybe because they're trying to clear space to sign Afobe or to sign Jed Wallace again. I mean, Isaac Loffey said he hasn't been spoken about extending his contract. Keithton Bell isn't being spoken about extending his contract. Alex Pearce looks to be set to leave, and he's possible that he could be replaced by Alex Mitchell. I think. I mean, just to sit on the subs bench just in case an emergency. But yeah, and this is how it goes. We get players in on loan, and they either love it or it's kind of a bit and then the ones that love it can't kind of stay. I mean, that happened to George Saville, Jed Wallace. And not only that, but players who leave, they come back a lot of the time, don't they? How many players have left and come back? Loads, absolute tons of them. Morrison, Tony Craig, Neil Harris, George Saville. A lot of players, they leave and they come back because it's quite a unique situation here. And if you love it, you love it. And hopefully Afobe is loving it. Dun, 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 and he comes back. So we're going to move on to this now from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Positive Jed Wallace news for Millwall. Jed Wallace is set to train today with the Millwall talisman expected to be available for Saturday's Championship finale at AFC Bournemouth. It could be the 28-year-old's swan song in a Lions shirt if the South London club do not make the playoffs. Wallace is out of contract this summer and is yet to commit to fresh terms in SC16. Nottingham Forest had bids rejected for the former Portsmouth and Wolves player. He did have a spell on the sidelines with a groin injury, but came off the bench in last weekend's 3-0 win over Peterborough United. Asked about team news ahead of the match against the Cherries, Rowett told the South London Press, absolutely fine. We are where we thought we'd be. Jed was left out for the first part of the week, but he'll train today and tomorrow. We've got Scotty and Dan out. They're not going to make it, but everyone else is fine. The likes of Lenny will feel better for having more game time. We're in a fairly good place fitness-wise. So that's the team news ahead of the big game Saturday morning. So yeah, Jed Wallace back training now. Will he start? I thought he did really well coming off the bench, and we know it's not like we're gonna be needing him in the first half. We always defend for most of the first half, and we only turn up in the second. So maybe it might be a good idea just to have him come off the bench, maybe at half time this time instead of 60 minutes where it was 55 minutes. Because it's like the cavalry coming in. You're like, if you're on that pitch and you see Jed Wallace coming on, you think, okay, here we go. Rub your hands and go, okay, here comes the magic. Ding, ding, ding. So yeah, maybe it might be good for him to start on the bench and let the defenders defend for the first half, and then because we only need to win the game 1-0, whether we score in the first minute or the 90 plus 8 minute, you know, doesn't matter. Just get it where you can get it. So, also from londonnewsonline.co.uk, we got this. Millwall boss on opponent's Bournemouth stealing promotion, and former Lions target scoring decisive goal. Millwall manager Gary Rowett has praised the Bournemouth counterpart Scott Parker ahead of the two clubs facing each other this weekend. Kiefer Moore's goal, striking home first time after a free kick was played to his feet inside the penalty area, sealed a 1-0 win for the Cherries over Forest on Tuesday night. That result ensured that Bournemouth joined Fulham in sealing an automatic promotion place. The South Coast club have nothing but pride to play for on the final day, with Fulham already confirmed as champions. Millwall are 8th and can still make the playoffs, but are relying on winning this weekend and other results going in their favour. Rowett said the first half of the Bournemouth game was fairly even, but certainly second half they took control of the game. Over the season, for me, Fulham and Bournemouth have been the two teams in the division you feel had a little bit more than most teams. I would say that Forest have been very unlucky. I would imagine since Steve Cooper came in, they will probably be within that two or pretty close to it. But it's over the season, and Scott has done a fantastic job there to deal with that pressure, to be able to recruit a few different players and change elements of the team. It hasn't just been the same team to get them back up. I'm sure there will be a massive amount of relief that they haven't got to go to the last day, because I'm sure if Forest had beaten them, that is a nerve-wracking final day. They knew it was in their hands at home and they got over the line. Moore had been a target for the Lions before he signed for Cardiff City. He joined Bournemouth in the January transfer window as they recruited in an attempt to maintain and improve their push for the top two. The goal came from a free kick on the edge of the box, Philip Billing opting against shooting and instead finding the unmarked Wales international. I don't know how much of a routine it was, said Rowett. When you see Kiefer Moore in a little bit of space, whether it is a bit of quick thinking or something they worked on, they do create different kinds of set pieces. I think it's the finish. It's a really good finish. It's a hard side foot finish with accuracy. When you look at it, executed in a pressure game, and at that stage was the difference. I knew in the second half Bournemouth moved the ball and kept it away from Forest, but the actual finish was the one moment in the game that stood out. So there you have it. Gary Rowett bigging up Bournemouth and Kiefer Moore. Hopefully he's been looking at their set pieces and he knows what they get up to. So we are now going to move also from Gary Rowett That's him there on the right. Millwall boss has to be aware of live scores on final day, plus plans in place to chase more goals. Millwall manager Gary Rowett will be aware of the live scores of the other 3 games in a playoff race to be in the best position to be able to react to what his side needs to do. There are multiple possibilities this weekend, but one is that the Lions have to score more goals to clinch a top 6 place. Goal difference will come into it if Millwall are beating Bournemouth, Sheffield United are losing to Fulham, and Middlesbrough are not winning against Preston. On the last day of the 95-96 season, Manchester City were drawing 2-2 at home to Liverpool when City boss Alan Ball got information that relegation rivals Southampton were losing and told future Millwall manager Steve Lomas, who then took the ball into the corner. Southampton, though, were drawing their game. City's finished 2-2 and they were relegated from the top flight with a worse goal difference than the Saints. Rowett said he and his coaching staff will also have different plans to chase more goals if they need them. Putting Cooper up front. Rowett kept Jed Wallace in reserve last Saturday against Peterborough, albeit the Lions boss felt the attacker wasn't fit to start anyway, and he came on to exploit the spaces and provide 2 assists. If Millwall get ahead in the game this weekend and United are losing, Middlesbrough are failing to win and Luton are getting a result, it would come down to goal difference between the Lions and the Blades. That is one of several different scenarios, and Rowett will be aware of what's happening elsewhere. You have to be, Rowett said. I've heard a lot of managers talk at this stage of the season that we don't worry about other results, we just concentrate on ours. I understand that. Everyone to a certain degree does. You have to know what's happening around you, because at the end of the game you could find out if you had scored one more goal you would have been in the playoffs. I think everyone knows roughly what's happening. I would always prefer to be armed with all the information so I could try to make the best in-game decisions as possible. It's not always easy to do that, but if having the scores live doesn't deter too much from your game plan, then that's the best scenario. We were 1-0 up on Saturday. We had plans to go and chase more goals if we needed to. We did. We got another couple, and we'll have similar plans against Bournemouth side. I'm sure will pose a much different test to Peterborough. So it does look like that Gary Rowett is fully prepared. He knows the task at hand, and he is determined to put everything into this final game of the season that could be absolutely magical. This would be a remarkable turn of events if there's basically a three-way exchange, because we need to win our result and we need 2 other results to go our way, and if that happens, that will be absolutely remarkable. So now we're going to move on to this story about Danny McNamara. Now this is from a website called punditarena.com, and it says Danny McNamara determined for Nations League call up from Stephen Kenny. So obviously getting his name out there, trying to put his name out in the manager's thoughts, and ahead of the Nations League games in the beginning of June. We'll get into them when they are, but it's quite a hectic schedule coming up. Millwall fullback Danny McNamara hopes he has done enough to be considered for Stephen Kenny's Republic of Ireland UEFA Nations League squad. Millwall right back Danny McNamara is determined to win his first Ireland call-up after a strong end of the season with Millwall in the Championship. McNamara picked up the Millwall Young Player of the Season award earlier this week and was runner-up in their Player of the Season vote. The defender has played 36 times for the Lions this season and scored his first 2 goals last month in their 4-1 win over Barnsley. The former Ireland under-21 international was born in England but qualifies for the Boys in Green through his father's side of the family. McNamara determined to catch Stephen Kenny's attention. Now, following an injury to Matt Doherty, there is a fine opportunity for McNamara to break into the Republic of Ireland squad, even if he will face stiff competition from the likes of Cyrus Christie and Festi Ebosile for a place. McNamara told Irish Football Fan TV that he felt optimistic ahead of the last squad announcement in March, only to be omitted. This time, however, his dreams could come true. I was working really hard and trying to get into the previous games, explained the 23-year-old. I knew it was going to be tough, a bit too soon maybe, but I think these games coming up, I think we've got 3 or 4 games. So listen, I'm just trying to work hard every day in training and every game. I'm sort of just trying to be the best player to try and get noticed and to sort of put an idea into Stephen's head, whether he wants to call me up or not. But I can only keep doing what I'm doing, and that's hopefully that call up comes very soon. Ireland look ahead to Nations League action. Ireland's UEFA Nations League fixtures begin on the 4th of June in Armenia before they take on Ukraine at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin 4 days later. Kenny side are then faced with a further 2 challenging fixtures in quick succession as they play Scotland on the 11th of June in Dublin before travelling to... I doubt they'll be travelling to Ukraine. The airspace is closed. I won't fly over there. You couldn't pay me to fly over there in a plane with them shooting things down. Yeah. That still hasn't been determined where that game is going to be played. Who knows? It might be London. It might be Switzerland. It might be Cyprus. All these places have been used before. Algarve, Portugal. I don't know, but it's up to Ukrainians to sort it out. I think Ukrainian FA, and obviously the circumstances there. It's not easy for them to do it. The league's been suspended and all that. They do have a lot of players still based in Ukraine, so that's not going to be easy. Are they? Will the team? Are they expected to be fighting, like joining the army and fighting? Because they're young men and they're fit. And you've seen Klitschko. Now he's an old man now. He's a mayor, politician. He's getting involved in all that as well. Will they expect these footballers to do that, or will they understand? Oh, they're sort of competing for Ukraine, but it's similar, but it's not the same. Maybe they'll give them a pass on that, or maybe they'll see them as like deserters and stuff, because they are stopping men from leaving the country. If you're trying to get over the land border, they'll stop you. If you're a Ukrainian, they'll turn you back. If you're a Ukrainian man, they'll turn you back. If you're a woman and a child or a foreigner, they'll let you leave. They'll let you go into Poland, and then that's it. So yeah, so there's still no idea, like a month away, where that game's going to be played. Maybe at the Den. Maybe Steve Kavanagh, call the Ukrainians, sort it out for them, and maybe we can all go and watch Danny McNamara play for Ireland at the Den. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Break up the boring summer of no football. So let's carry on with this. Ireland looks set to be without key men such as Matt Doherty and Andrew Omabamidele. That famous Irish name there, Omabamidele. For the fixtures, but some good form from Seamus Coleman should alleviate any concerns hanging over the strength of Ireland's defence. Burnley centre half Nathan Collins was today nominated for blah 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 blah. I don't care about that. So yeah, this story. Obviously, Danny McNamara's doing a bit of PR with local sort of Irish, not Irish press, but Irish YouTube channel. This is a YouTube channel. It's this one here. This is the interview. You can watch it if you want. It's what is it? 23 minutes long. It's decent stuff. It's like frank discussion from Danny McNamara about what's happening there. And it's the channel's name is Irish Football Fan TV, and the video is titled Millwall's Danny McNamara on his senior international ambitions with the Republic of Ireland. So yeah, it seems he really wants to play for them. Now here's the one thing I would say: if you do get selected, you got to be competent, and you've got to not fuck up. If they put you in there and it looks like, if you look out of place, if you're not doing things properly, and you have a bit of a nightmare on the pitch, which I don't think would happen because he did play for the under-21, so he's been in the system there. But that could set you back. That if you don't hit the, if you don't have to hit the ground running, but you don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, because if you do, they're probably gonna not pick you again, and you'll have to wait for a new manager, and hopefully by then you'll be even better player than you are, and maybe then it's not even a discussion. It's like, well, obviously we're gonna pick him, and we'll give him another chance, that kind of thing, because maybe there's injuries or stuff, and they go, okay, let's keep. But if you do get in there, don't fuck it up. Don't try and do too much. Just be solid, and then build on that. Go in, be solid, and then build. You don't have to be a superstar from the off. But yeah, this interview here is pretty decent. Give it a listen. Tell me what you think. I'll put the link in the description if you're too lazy to actually type it up. But why not? Now we're going to finish with this from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Millwall winger, soon to be ex-Millwall winger, undergoes surgery. So Millwall winger Conor Mahoney has undergone surgery. Our paper revealed recently that the Lions would not be offering a new deal, which wasn't a surprise to the former Birmingham, Bournemouth and Blackburn attacker. Maybe the reason why he didn't do too well here is because Millwall begins with an M and not with a B. I think maybe he should look to sign for another team that begins with B. Burnley? I don't know. Mahoney has barely featured at first team level this season and is out of contract this summer. 25-year-old has made just 3 appearances since the end of September. He signed for the Lions from Birmingham City in July 2019. And Connor has had an operation, said Mill manager Rowett. It was an issue he wanted to resolve, and we've tried to help him do that, so at least he can have a summer relaxing rather than waiting for the end of the season. It means he'll be ready for next season. So he's had a bit of an issue that needed surgery, but he was fit enough to be playing, sort of. Well, he wasn't playing, but he was on the bench a couple of times. He played with under 23s, so obviously some kind of issue. So if he had that, why didn't they let him do that earlier? Or was it a recent thing? I don't know. But so yeah, it seems his last thing that he's done as a Millwall player is to give Millwall some medical bills on the Booper account, which is nice, isn't it? On your way out, run up the medical expenses. But it seems the club are doing it, some kind of favour for him. So good luck to him. Yeah, it just didn't work out, did it? But we will see. We will see if he goes somewhere and does something else, or if he just fades away, or when you're watching the video printer program, whatever one you're watching now, if every now and then you see the name Conor Mahoney pop up in either a League 1 or a League 2 team, see what he does. So there you have it, and that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.